This is a download from BFM 89.9, the business station.
Good morning, you're listening to Open for Business. I'm Angeline Tay. Now, SME Innovation Challenge 2015 is targeted at young SME entrepreneurs, and they're back for the third year with prizes worth up to 1 million ringgit. So today we'll be catching up with the 13th and 14th finalists, Katsana and Freshcart Grocer. We have Muhammad Irwan Ibrahim from Katsana and Jonathan O from Freshcart Grocer. So congratulations to the both of you. How does it feel to be selected as a top 20 finalist?
Thank you, Angeline. This is Irwan from Katsana GPS. It's been a great opportunity for us to be selected in the top 20. The journey is really great, and we are very happy to meet other participants because they are very talented too. And all our mentors in the classes are very, very helpful in telling us what is the biggest secret in business.
Biggest secret,
yeah.
Hi, good morning. My name is Jonathan from Freshcart. Well, being in this challenge sort of really opened a lot of insights and also to us in terms of businesses. We were able to sort of hear from other CEOs as well and other co-founders how they're running their business. And hearing from them, right, it feels we are not so lonely in this journey as an entrepreneur. So it's a really great experience being in this challenge.
Mm-hmm. And I think the prize money is just something that you get as a bonus, as a side. But I think what's important is the networking within the founders in the challenge. Now, why did you decide to participate in this challenge?
I think to us it's more of the networking opportunity. Like you said, money is good, but meeting people and find the opportunity to meet with these people, otherwise we cannot do it on our everyday life. This is a great opportunity to us.
As for me, actually, I didn't know about this competition other than somebody just like, hey, there's this competition going. Why don't you just try it out? I said, hey, cannot win. Sure cannot win. But never mind. I had my presentation ready and I just submitted and that's how we got in.
And top 20.
Yeah.
So let's start with you, Irwan, about Katsana. Tell us what is the system that you're building?
Okay, Katsana is an advanced GPS system. We have a hardware that we install on our customer's car. So this hardware will send the data every 10 seconds, which is the fastest in the market. So for Katsana, we will analyze the data and then show it to the customer through their smartphone, the location of their car, the speeding, the max speed that they have today, the historical route, and all the information that relevant to their business. So currently what we do is just we put it in very easy to use on your smartphone. You can have all the information just at your fingertips.
So advanced GPS tracking system for your car. I mean, how did you even see the need for this for cars and even bikes in the first place?
At first, we started because of theft. Because Malaysia is very notorious for their theft rate. We always hear every day that people's car gets stolen. So we want to reduce that. But sooner, when we dive into the business, we are focusing more on the behavior of the drivers. From the data that we get, we do the analysis behavior, see how people are driving, and we will research on how to manage that driving behavior. That one is very particular to the business, right? But we are going to use that insight for more consumer-oriented, because Malaysian drivers are also very notorious for their reckless driving, speeding, crash rate. So we want to use what we've learned in the business world and then put it to somehow manipulate the driving behavior for Malaysia.
How do you manipulate a driver's behavior based on just a GPS tracking system?
First, we collect the data and see what is the impression of the driving, whether they are a safer driver or whether they are a reckless driver. So, and then we try to experiment with the message that we send to them. Like we can say, like, you are driving too fast today. If you're slower by 20 km per hour, you can reduce the crash rate by 20%, for example, right? So we try to play with different kind of message, which one have a lot more effects, and then we can try to reduce the accident rate as a whole.
Wouldn't that sort of backfires as well, because it pops up all the time, like how if you don't put on seat belts, there's a red light blinking, and then I find it annoying when that happens as well.
Yeah, we don't for the manipulation we don't do directly. We wait for them to back home, or maybe after 1 week of driving, we can see how their performance in the road, how they're respected on the road for the past week, for example.
Okay, so how long did it take you to develop this system?
Okay, we started in 2013. We did like 12 months of development, but it's more on the the basic function like you can see your car at your fingertip using your smartphones, right? But 2014 we start selling, and then we also started development on the behavior analysis, like how we can manage people behavior by telling them this and that. After that, we are ready for the prime time right now.
Okay, and you sort of promised that this is affordable and also economical to maintain. What does this mean? Okay,
at first we tried to sell at a very low price because back then our competitors are selling very cheap hardware at a high expensive price. So we're going to change that. But because of our smaller operations, right, we have to pivot a bit. We make it more expensive and targeting people who wants to find a high quality hardware for them. But after a few months, maybe after 1 year, we are in better position to offer a better value by reducing the price and put it more into a monthly fee, for example. And after this, we are going to make it more affordable. People might not have to pay anything.
Wow.
And then we work with their insurance provider to provide a safer environment so they can pay lower premium, and then at the same time have a very full-fledged tracking system.
Okay, so that you foresee that will be a more sustainable business model?
Yes, it's going to be a very big pivot from what we're doing right now. It's going to affect a lot more people on the road. We are trying to create a very safe driving environment in Malaysia.
Okay, so what are your plans? You're saying you're pivoting to work with insurance companies. So what is the expansion plan?
All right. Right now, if you notice, like we are always hearing people complain that the premium is very high. But in insurance industry in Malaysia is in dire state. They are losing, for this year alone, half of this year, they are losing almost 200 million of ringgit to the claim. Wow. So it's like a loss situation. Like people are expecting more lesser premium, but they are very risky driving, and in Malaysia the accident rate is very high. So for us, what we do differently is that we try to manage the behavior of the driving to let people have the chance to say that they are safer driver, so they will pay lesser premium. So before this, people always talk, right? But this one, we are having a system that can track, that can get the impression of your driving behavior and put it to the insurance that says these people are safe driver, they should pay less premium. So we're going to change that.
And completely changing to that direction.
Yeah, this is going to be our big focus for this year and next year.
Okay. All right. Up next, we'll catch up with Jonathan Oh. He is the founder of Freshcart Grocer. They are the 13th and 14th finalists we've been catching up with from the SME Innovation Challenge 2015. This is Open for Business, BFM 89.9.
Bemused football managers, BFM 89.9.
Good morning. You're still tuned in to Open for Business. I'm Angeline Tay. In the studios with us is Muhammad Iwan Ibrahim, founder of Katsana, and also Jonathan Oh from Freshcart Grocer. They are two of the 20 finalists of SME Innovation Challenge 2015 organized by Alliance Bank. So, let's catch up with you, Jonathan. Tell us a little bit about Freshcart Grocer.
Thanks, Angeline. Jonathan here from freshcart.com.my. We are actually an online specialty grocery store. We help busy working mothers and young working professionals save about 4 to 6 hours a week on grocery shopping by doing next day delivery right to their doorsteps. So no more looking for parking, no more getting stuck in traffic jams, no more going to different stores to get the good stuff for home. So at Freshcart, you trust us to pick the best ingredients for you, the best food for you, and we have high quality standards, and we will get these groceries right to your doorsteps next day. And we are currently delivering all over Selangor and Kuala Lumpur.
Right. And you're saying right to your doorstep in the next day. So what is the cutout, time for people to place their orders?
Right. So the cutoff time every day is about 7 p.m. Mm-hmm. So as long as you order before 7 p.m., you are most likely to be able to get your groceries the next day.
Right. Yeah. How did you even see this opportunity in the first place?
Well, this is my second business this time around. I was actually a medical rep turned entrepreneur. I sold my first medical business 2 years ago. And I had this entrepreneur spirit all along. And it was always what's next. And I saw a gap in terms of everything that we could buy online, from movie tickets to plane tickets to gadgets to mobile phones and everything. But there was one segment that wasn't really met yet, which was food and also grocery. So with that in mind, we went into providing this service to people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But then there are other platforms who delivers groceries as well. How do you think that you're different from them?
Okay. So there are three things that differentiate us. As the awareness of online grocery is still growing, penetration is still relatively low, but more and more people are starting to try to purchase their groceries online. Yes, there are a couple of other platforms available now, but I believe that with more platforms available, it will create a more awareness among shoppers to start buying online. So for us, we are not as huge and not as heavily funded as some of the other platforms. But I think the difference is what we have is the product mix that we have on Freshcart. They're not the typical normal items that you'll get in your grocery store.
Okay.
So we found more and more people looking for better and healthier food and ingredients as well that they want to have, bring home when their kids to eat and everything like that. So there was a greater demand for this type of food, and we saw that need, and Freshcart, we went to look for this kind of goods for our customers. And a second differentiation we have would be we have become a platform for other entrepreneurs who sort of produce artisan food. So I always thought, I like this Auntie Amy's pineapple tarts, and she uses the most natural ingredients to make the food. So why don't I ask Auntie Amy to put her products onto Freshcart's platform? So now we have different artisan food makers on board with us.
Okay.
We have homemade jams, we have granola bars, we have also juices as well, and more people are coming on board with Freshcart. The final differentiation I think we have compared to other platforms is, allow me to share with you a story. So this will lead me to a story, like way back. So when I was young, I used to follow my parents to the wet market and also supermarkets. Those small supermarkets, there's no hypermarkets those time, right? And what I found was when we entered the store every time, the store owners were sort of like, hey, hi. They had this big smile on their face. And another thing that I noticed is that my parents kept going back to those stores years and going back. Some of them even saw me growing up. And I was thinking, wow, so many years also going back to the store, and they saw me growing up. Now, fast forward 20 years, these kind of stores are sort of getting less and less. People are more going to the hypermarkets and everything. So what I aspired to do with Freshcart was to bring that experience to
bring the market to your doorstep.
To bring the market to your doorstep. And, at Freshcart, you always have this friendly face. You always hear this friendly voice that we really care about what groceries are going to your basket. And we just want to be that friend that you can trust, that big smiling face that you see every time.
Okay. Now, but when you say hand-picked fruits or, hand-picked produce, isn't this time-consuming, though? How do you plan to sustain this business?
Okay. So we have actually moved to more than just fruits. Hand-picking at Freshcart actually means the item we list actually goes through a proper screening process. So all of us at Freshcart, we taste everything that we sell. And we make sure that we, if it's not something that we will eat, we won't actually offer it. And fresh produce was actually a challenging part of the business, and hand-picking, right? We actually hand-pick our fruits piece by piece.
But you can't be tasting every fruit before you give it to your customers.
No, sort of like we buy it a bit earlier.
Right.
And sort of we taste it to say, okay.
For the batch.
For the batch. And see whether the batch is good or not. So that's how we test as well. So hand-picking this fresh produce, right, piece by piece. Imagine blueberries, we go by every piece of blueberry.
Wow.
Even though it's time-consuming, but we believe that spending this additional time, it will actually sort of give our customer this kind of experience that can then really trust Freshcart.
Yeah.
With whatever they get. So every time when you receive a bag from Freshcart, you know that somebody actually really put heart into it and to pack these goods for you. Yeah. So we actually developed a process to sort of create all our packers. They're all trained how to select the fruits because we came from a fresh produce background. So we started with fresh produce, and we slowly added other stuff into our platform as well. So with proper processes in place, we believe that we're able to control this. Wastage also was very high at the beginning, but we have found a way to manage these wastages as well.
How do you manage it though?
Okay, so some of the wastages sort of like there are people sort of, they don't mind buying the wastages from us.
Okay.
And because the fruit is actually still good in condition, so they actually come contact us and say, hey, can we just get some of these fruits off you? They're like, sure. Another way that we manage our wastage is sort of work with the suppliers. We actually go there and look and say that, okay, if this batch is not good, we're not going to buy. So actually that has sort of have minimized our wastage as well.
All right. And then what would you say is the most challenging part of this business?
Okay. At first, we were sort of running, the most challenging part of the business actually was logistics. When we first started, the co-founders ourselves, we actually went to do deliveries ourselves. We were doing 20-hour work days, waking up every day at 4 a.m. It was really a humbling experience for us. It was tough, but we really learned a great deal about logistics and fulfillment. if I didn't go and do this kind of deliveries, I wouldn't have understand how logistics work. So there's this joke in the office where our colleagues will make fun of me and Shang Rong, where they will say, hey, you want to go any place, right? Don't need to look for Google Map or don't need to use your PC. Just ask John and Sharon. They know these locations at the back of their minds. So we could tell you where to park illegally, but please put a telephone number there. We know where to get free parking. We know where to secret places where you can park. You don't get summoned or clamped. So yeah, that was one of the first challenges we had 15 months ago. Fast forward 15 months now. Another challenge that we see that is that about educating people to actually start buying online. Most shoppers actually like the status quo. A lot of them come and say, hey John, you're taking the joy of picking from me. And you know how we go about, yeah, okay, but we actually pick the best for you. And we just have to gain the customer's trust in this. So I think that challenge is very real now. And most shoppers who buy online now, they can buy everything else online, but there's not a very high penetration in terms of buying groceries online at the moment. Yeah, so we look forward to more and more people adopting this and trusting Freshcart, and then we can do these groceries for you.
Yeah, but in terms of speaking of the logistics, I think I want to highlight is you have a central warehousing where you place all your fresh produce before it's being distributed out to the homes of people who've ordered your food, the fruits. Okay,
so we actually run a very unique business model. So we're running a next day warehouse to home delivery model where we operate purely as an e-commerce company. All our groceries are hand-picked and sourced from our own fulfillment center and then delivered the very next day via a hybrid model where we use bikes, cars and vans, and we deliver all over Selangor and Kuala Lumpur. Now, because we had this cut-off time about 7, so actually all our goods are bought on that day of delivery. So we have people, so we don't keep any stocks at all. So it's really, really fresh straight from the market right to your doorsteps.
Wow. Okay, now there were training sessions on talent management and lean marketing through the SME Innovation Challenge. So Irwan, what have you learned from these training sessions?
All right. Before this, we haven't realized anything about talent management, right? So everything is just like, hire people and do this and do that. But thankfully, our team members are really self-independent at the moment. So we are really not managing talents at this moment. But as we are growing up, it's a very good knowledge to know the tips and tricks on how to manage people, to retain talent in your companies, right? I think it's very beneficial to us to know this early. So when we scale, we can utilize that knowledge.
And Jonathan?
So maybe I can ask you a question. Do you know how many % of talent is born and learned out of 100%?
Born and learned?
Yeah, talent is how many % is born and how many % is learned? Take a guess.
Well, I have no clue. 50-50?
Okay, so we found out on Tuesday that 95% is learned and 5% is born. So to know the full story, you have to ask Roshan from Nilonomics. Okay, but
let's see if it's coming in next Monday.
But jokes aside, so at Freshcart, we learned actually that culture is actually behavior. In any organization, how culture really has to do with behavior of everyone in the organization, including the co-founders. So to change the behavior of people, it is not through harping on them or like poking them or like say, hey, I'm the boss, listen to me. But it's more of having processes to change the experiences in the company that will lead to an awesome culture. And that was one key nugget that I took away from the talent management. Another one would be, it was a good reminder that a lot of companies actually start a business with what to sell, how to sell it, and why are we selling it. And that was a reminder to us that in the long run, once we are at bigger scale and everything, then we start questioning the why. It'll be much more difficult about the how and what. So Roshan sort of shared with us a story that start with why, the how and the what will eventually come. And with that, you always maintain that core thing in your company. Mm-hmm. So you can always change the how and what, but the why is always there.
Understanding the purpose.
Yep.
Okay, now the golden question. What will you do with the money if you win the SME Innovation Challenge?
For us, we'll be spending more. We're going to get a lot of more talented people so we can develop our system and our platform to serve more people on the road. All right.
For Freshcart, first thing, if we win this challenge, we take all the finalists out for a great party and celebrate together. Okay, but yes, but
they're listening to this out there.
Yeah. Okay, but what we're going to do is actually, really we're going to use the money to sort of improve our fulfillment process, to sort of improve the customer experience as well with Freshcart, and above all, we are looking and we are striving towards to making Freshcart a household brand name that you can trust. So, with this, winning this challenge will sort of give this opportunity for us to propel further.
And it's like Malaysian brand as well.
Malaysian brand, yes.
So wish you all the best. Muhammad Irwan Ibrahim, the founder of Katsana, and also Jonathan O, founder of Freshcart Grocer, 2 of the 20 finalists of the SME Innovation Challenge 2015 by Alliance Bank. This is Open for Business. I'm Angeline Tay, BFM 89.9.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. To find more great interviews, go to bfm.my or find us on